Okay, well, welcome everyone. And this is Mike Dotterer, and we are live. And I don't know where Shu just went. I thought he went there.
I know.
Where did your camera go, Shu? I don't know where his camera went, but anyway, it's Mike Dotterer. It's the Shu and Dot Show, brought to you by Nirvana Gold Rush. And I don't know where Shu just went. He was on. So anyway, maybe he got excited. But boy, do we got a show for you. We're streaming. I love StreamYard. StreamYard, I love you. Oh, here's Shu. Shu's back. There, he's back. Shu's back.
Touch one thing and I'm out of.
Oh, now we got to get it. Oh, there he is. He's back. Shu's back, baby.
They should have had this when I was working at ABC for 30 years, where people could just hit the screen and I'd go away. If you didn't like me, bam, I'm out of here.
Hey, Shu, I want to let everyone know this is the Shu and Dot Show, brought to you by Nirvana Gold Rush. And down below, for more information, go to shu.nirvanagoldrush.com.
Okay.
Please, and just to let everyone know, we're streaming live. I think, you know what, first, in baseball, you get one strike, then you get two strikes. Well, this is the last time I'm throwing this out.
Oh,
I just going to get one last time. Can I give one last time?
Yeah, third time a charm, but nobody grabbed it last week, huh?
I haven't heard yet. And people know, I mean, there's people right now, Shu, watching this, and I'm going to go to the comments. You can make comments. You should be able to make comments right now, and we can see it. We can see your comments. So if you want to type, we can see. But here's the thing. If you want tickets to the San Francisco 49ers, which I believe, Shu, they're going to be playing. Right there. Shu's pointing. The first person that joins the Nirvana Gold Rush Club on the Shu team is going to the 49ers with Shu, and I'll be carrying your bags.
We got to have Dodd for the entertainment, so. But yeah, we've offered this 2 weeks in a row now. So this is it.
This is it.
Person.
This is it.
Can get to go to the game because
we're going to take it off the board. Oh, look at this. We just got someone just tagged in, James Vogel. Oh, James, how are you, buddy? Let's see here. Hi, James.
All right.
I'm just going to say hi, James. Do you want the tickets?
There you go.
All right. I just tagged. There we go. Because James just said hi. James, if you want the tickets, James, you just call me. My direct cell phone number is 415-894-2432. Again, that's 415-894-2432. First person that leaves a message saying they want to join the Shu Nirvana Gold Rush.com web team, first person gets the tickets.
All right.
That's Shu, right? This is it.
I'm not giving out my cell phone, but
that's it.
And actually, this is one of the few times you and I are in the same city. We're both in Sacramento today. It's only 102 here. And if I hear one more time that it's a dry heat, but so is my oven, so I'm not buying it. So 102 is 102 no matter where you are. So anyway, this is as close as you and I have been in a long time, so together.
Well, Shu, I'm so excited to be here in California because, California has had a lot of problems. There's no question about it. But when it comes to cannabis, Shu, I'm glad I'm here in California and not some of the other states where it's unfortunate, but they make it hard. And would you like to just talk a little bit about cannabis, Shu?
Yes. This is something we've talked about this the last three shows. I was at Florida State in the early 70s. All right. So we were kind of the first long-haired athletes, coming out of the 60s, that military cut, the military style coaching that coaches had to deal with. They weren't sure what to do with us. We were kind of the first hippies to play sports. And I got inducted into my high school Hall of Fame, and my coach said, "What'd you learn from Mike Schumann?" And he says, he taught me that a kid with long hair can catch the ball just as well or better than a kid with short hair. So anyway, at that time, everybody was experimenting, and a lot of us were smoking cannabis. And unbeknownst to us, it was kind of medicinal. I just started noticing that I didn't have the aches and pains I did with it. And of course, this is 40 years ago, and now there's so much more advancement in it with the CBD oil, the vapes, the everything. And I've been using the Nirvana Gold Rush products probably the last 2 months, and it's just been amazing. I talked about it before. I go to play golf. I have to wear a knee brace. I put the salve on my knee 45 minutes before. Drove out to play some golf. Didn't have to wear my knee brace. Then I had the roll on with me because, as I said before, when you play golf, you're going to tweak something when you're out there. In 5 hours, sure enough, my shoulder kind of popped out a little bit. I put it on there. 3 holes later, gone. And now you turn me on to the gummies. One of them, Restore. I can't think of the other. There you go. And
Transcend and Restore.
Restore. And both of them, I take them before I go to sleep. Helps my pain. So my knee, for instance, when I turn over in bed, doesn't hurt me, and helps me sleep. And you have the vape right there with the CBD oil.
And we got the sleep.
And the tablet. That tablet has been a godsend. You know, if you're on pharmaceuticals, Xanax, Valium, any of that stuff, and want to get off, which most of us should, this is the product that you want to try. So between all of them, and I've talked about it before, I'm not going to promote a product I haven't tried. It's just been amazing to me because I've tried a lot of products over the years. I think the oil, the CBD oil that Club Nirvana is using is probably the purest of any out on the market. Doesn't, you know, it's at maybe 0.1% THC. And because a lot of people automatically think, well, if I'm taking CBD oil, it's got to have, the pot in it, THC in it. And it's not the case in this situation. So I think a lot of people, I'll say my age and older, we'll say 60 and older, would like to get off the drugs they're taking from Big Pharma, but they're not sure about the CBD and don't know enough about it. And that's what we're here for. You know, to kind of let people know. You can go online and this Club Nirvana explains and breaks it down for you better than any website I've ever seen. And we have some spokespeople here, Mike being one of them, of course, that are out there every day trying to help people out. And it's just a product that is just, it's blown me away. I'll just say that. It's blown me away, no pun intended, with, what they do. You make your order, delivery's there the next day. It's actually the owner's son is one of the, I've talked with him. He worked in television a while himself. Now he's jumped on this bandwagon, so to speak. So it's just one of the most efficient run. Your products are there the next day. Everybody's in a mask and gloves, so you don't have to worry about that. So it's something special. I'll just say that. And I wouldn't come on air and talk about this unless I believed in it. So, and guys like you, Mike played, at Stanford. He was a 2-sport star. So Mike wore his body out in college twice as quick as we did, only playing 1 sport. So you'd go, I thought about it, you'd go right from football in January, right into pre-baseball. I don't know, you probably had to play baseball and couldn't do spring training, right?
Yep.
Never got to do. So that kind of put you behind in the football. And so anyway, and then we all agree that Mike chose the wrong sport playing with the Raiders. The Oakland Invaders, we were teammates. So
yeah, but you know what? It's interesting, Shu. I actually am so glad that I played football because I hit my head so many times that I needed cannabis. And I am just so excited to be in this industry because if I hadn't hit my head, I might not be in the industry.
That's true. That's true. And a lot of these products, help the memory, and things of that nature. So, but anyway, Mike and I, it was funny because I'd be online and Mike kept popping up. We've known each other for 30 years. I said, what the hell is he talking about? So I tuned in one time and he kind of yelled at me. He kind of startled me. He goes, "Oh, Mike Shu." And I was like, "Oh, so, and then, I started following Mike and, got interested, gave him a call, and here we are now with the Shu Dot Show. So if you're out there and you have some issues, and right now, a lot of not only physical, but mental health issues with this lockdown and shelter in place. So it's, there's a lot of advantages and things that this really is something that plant-based wellness, it's kind of what I call it. And, there's no pot in there. You don't get high. And, so it's just something that's really, I think the future.
That's a point. That's a great point, Shu, that you make. A lot of people have this idea that, you're using cannabis because you want to get high.
Right.
I mean, Shu, you just want to go 18 rounds with no pain.
Exactly. Right. And sleep with no pain. So for me, I woke up and thought, I said, wait a minute, this can't be these gummies. This can't be, and sure enough, I just kept taking it. And I've got a little formula now. I take it, I think it's the Restore gummy and the tablet, and boom, I sleep through the night. I don't get up. I sleep from side to side, both of us, because of our lower back injuries from football. Can't sleep on our back. Neck injuries, can't sleep on our stomach. So we're side to side all night. I don't even turn over anymore. So and it's not just for former athletes. Everybody has pain at this age. We all have our own aches and pains. And so it's something that, and I tell you the truth, I even have talked to my dad about it and turned him onto it, because he's having some issues himself, his health issues at 84. And I talked to him the other day, and he says, boy, I don't know what this stuff is, but it works. So here's a guy that doesn't know much about, the cannabis industry or what it is, but he trusted his son to take it. And I was just so excited that it worked for him, and he had a little episode last week, and he's doing fine now. But and we both kind of have dads that had famous connections. You just told me yours. Tell me your story.
Well, Father's Day is coming up, and Shu, let's just last week, we know you couldn't go on because your father,
we had a hard episode.
Hard episode, but we said it. We said, it's interesting. We said a prayer for your father last week, and here you are. So just so thankful. So thankful, Shu, that your dad is doing better. So that's great. My father, Father's Day coming up, and my dad is he's up playing baseball with his roommate. My dad's roommate was Cincinnati, was a guy named Billy Martin. And
you didn't tell me that. You told me the other guy.
Well, I can tell you other things. I mean, Shu, you and I could, we could. Here, ladies and gentlemen, they're listening. Shu and I could talk for 8 hours and just keep talking. He's got more stories than I have. I mean, you really should. You have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is a man who when you come to San Francisco, and if you loved ABC, and I was a big, Wide World of Sports. Well, the anchor for the sports for ABC in San Francisco, you're looking at him. I mean, no, Shu, you must have. Okay, let me ask you. I'm just going to throw someone out. Did you ever interview Muhammad Ali?
I did.
See, tell me what that was like.
All right, here's the story on that. I was born in Louisville, where Muhammad Ali is from, Cassius Clay. And his gym was down the street where he worked out from my grandparents' house. And back then, in 1955 to 60, it was still really black and white in that part of the world. Actually, most of the United States. So, and unfortunately, we're still seeing it today. So, but after he trained, he would jog around, the area. He'd jog a mile, whatever. So we would wait every day for him to jog by. And he wasn't, famous yet. He was Cassius Clay, and in 60, he won the Olympic gold, and that's when his career kicked off. But we knew he was going to be special. And so we had, our group, little white kids, black kids next door, and this, that, and the other. So he'd come by, and we'd all leave our property, and I'm probably 4 or 5 years old, and we'd run behind Muhammad Ali.
What year was that? What year was that?
That's probably 1959.
So right before the 1960
Olympics. He was training for the Olympics. And I can remember to this day looking, we were all so excited, and it felt like we ran a mile. We probably only went like a quarter of a block because we knew we had to get back to our house. And Cassius Clay would turn around and say, hey, get back home. But I can remember looking at one of the black kids, and for a second, we were one. We weren't black or white. We were just two guys who loved Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay. And then, because of the conditioning back then, we'd look at each other and go, oh, we're not supposed to play together. So we'd run back to our respective houses. And that's what Muhammad Ali did, I think, like O.J. Simpson did. crossed the line of white and black and brought them together. I think Muhammad Ali was probably the first to do that, and then OJ when he was doing Hertz commercials and things of that nature.
And we can't forget about Dr. King.
Exactly, right. So anyway, so that was my big Cassius Clay story, and I interviewed him and asked him about it. And he by then he was kind of punch drunk from too many shots to the head. He said, I remember training there, but I don't know. I said, no, we ran with you. And, like I said, it could have been 5 yards. We thought it was a mile. So
wow.
Just for that 1 second, me and my neighbor looked at each other like, hell, why can't we play together? You kind of thing, and that's what it was. So, but Billy Martin, you didn't mention that.
Yeah, Billy and
Billy Martin, the Yankees and the A's. Right?
Yeah, well, Billy. What's that?
I didn't know he went to Syracuse.
No, Billy didn't go to Syracuse. Billy went to Berkeley High School. And Billy played for I believe before he went to the Yankees, he played with Casey Stengel with the Oakland Oaks.
Oh, okay.
And Billy went to the Yankees, and Casey Stengel loved Billy. He loved Billy.
But where was he a roommate with your dad? With the Yankees?
Cincinnati. After the Yankees.
Oh, Cincinnati, okay.
The Reds. This is 1960. Because what happened, it's interesting, you bring this up. Billy was a feisty guy, and loved to go out and, have
he'd fight his players.
Yeah, well, back in the Yankee days, he would take Mickey and Whitey and, all the guys, and they would go out and cause a lot of issues. And I don't know who the owner was, the Yankees back then. The last owner I remember is George Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
But back then, the Yankees, I think, got to a point where it said, Billy's a bad influence on the Mick, because Billy wants to go out and party. Mick, so they got rid of Billy, even though Billy helped the Yankees win a World Series, one of the World Series. Billy was fabulous. Huh?
He was a second baseman, right?
Second baseman. He made some great plays. If you go back, you can watch these games on YouTube and just put New York Yankees 1950 World Series. You'll see Billy Martin. And he was just a tiger. He was just tenacious. Billy Martin was like Billy Kilmer in football.
There you go. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, very similar personality.
You're talking about Berkeley High School in the Bay Area.
That's where Billy Martin went to school.
Didn't know that. All right. Now, we're sticking in the Bay Area. Your dad was roommates at Syracuse with?
My father at Syracuse. My dad went to high school, grew up in a place called Syracuse, New York, which is in upstate New York.
Right.
And he played a baseball. And at that time, Syracuse had a baseball team. So his freshman year, he went to Syracuse. This is 1950. And he got into a fraternity. And his fraternity brother was Dick Clark of American Bandstand. And they used to go on double dates. And, and his other friend was Mr. Al Davis.
That's the one you said. Now, since then, we've got Billy Martin and Dick Clark. Your old man was hanging with some pretty good guys. Well, and just to throw it out, one more thing. My dad ended up playing baseball in Cuba, and I think his first girlfriend was Che Guevara's secretary. It's unbelievable. Yeah, my dad would write a book about your dad.
Yeah, he was an amazing guy. But in any event, I think it's great, Shu, that your father is doing well. I miss my dad. My dad passed away a little over 20 years ago, way too early. Yeah. And I may have said this in an earlier Shu and Dot show, but I truly believe that my father, who passed away a little over 20 years ago, and my mother, who passed away last year, they were both prohibitionists. They did not like cannabis. They told me, don't do that. That's not good. But I truly believe now, the information that I have,
right,
I believe that they could have greatly benefited from cannabis. And I really believe, this is just me, that if they had used cannabis, there's a chance they'd be alive today.
That's a good point. And you're a great example because you listened to your parents. You didn't smoke weed in high school, college, or the pros. I don't know how playing for the Raiders you didn't ever smoke any weed.
Well, I did get addicted to pain reliever,
okay.
Little pain pills. I got addicted to those with my second training camp. I couldn't get out to the practice field without George Anderson said, "Hey, Soupy, take one of those yellow pills in the jar." And I started taking the pills, and every time I got up in the morning, I said, "Oh, I need another pill because I can't practice unless I have a pill."
Yeah. So, but you, as a result, and you've gotten involved with this company, and now you're an encyclopedia on it, and also using it for its plant-based wellness, like we said. So
Yeah.
earlier you had a vape and it's CBD oil, and if you just want a
Oh, yeah.
simple, puff of it, it just kind of calms your anxiety. Depending on what oil you use, for me, I would do it at night, and that would help me, in my pain. So, I was a wide receiver. I ran out of bounds a lot, so I didn't take as many hits as Mike did. So, and then I thought about it. You get concussions as probably one of the last white running backs besides Christian McCaffrey, another Stanford grade, and then go get hit in the head with a baseball. To me, that was always the hardest thing to do in sports, was hit a baseball. I'm not standing in a box. What's it, 90 feet away, 60 feet?
90. I think it's 90.
And let a guy throw a pill at me.
No, it is 60. It is 60.
But let a guy who can throw it 100 miles an hour throw a pill at me as hard as he wants, and you have 1 second to react.
And it moves.
Yeah. So people said to me, they go, "Wait a minute, you'd rather run over the middle and get hit by Jack Tatum?" I go, "Yes, because I could protect myself. I knew where the hit was coming from according to the play. Baseball, you got no chance, right?" And did you? Were you a switch hitter? Are you right?
No, I wish Shu. I wish I were a switch hitter, but I'll never forget. Remember that picture on cover of Sports Illustrated with Tony Conigliaro?
Oh yeah, when he got hit.
When he got hit,
Tony was at ABC before I was, and then he started having some issues. I think he had a stroke after he got hit in the eye, and he moved out to the Bay Area and everything. So I mean, I think the point being, though, both of us kind of came into the industry in different fashions.
Yeah.
And, believe enough in it to where we come together as one on the Shu and Dot Show, and just trying to help out. That's more than anything. We're just trying to help people out. And like I said, people over 60 who don't know much about it, go to the website and just check it out. I'm telling you, it breaks it down for you. It explained it to me. And here's a guy that's been doing it for 40 years. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And it's very easily where, some knucklehead like me can understand it. So if I can understand it, anybody can.
Well, Shu, I'm just very honored that, I really am, because you are a veteran at the sports and, broadcasting industry. I feel like, one of my dreams, Jim McKay or Frank Gifford or what was his? Kurt Gowdy, wow. All those names. And Chris Schenkel. And you know what, Shu? You probably have a story for all those guys, right?
I've met most of them. I went up to Dick Engberg. He was doing an NBA game once, and I said, "Mr. Engberg," I said, he goes, "Call me Dick." And I said, I followed you for years. I work for ABC here in San Francisco. My name's Mike Schumann. He goes, "I know who you are." And he had followed me in the NFL. As unproductive as my NFL career was, here's a guy who knew. I was just stunned, So now I got to know a lot of guys, be around a lot of guys. And here's a story of the Warriors about 2 years ago. Jim Boeheim, the head coach at Syracuse, the basketball coach, been there forever. He's there, and my news director at the time, it still is there, went to Syracuse. And it's a great broadcasting school, one of the premier in the country. So I just saw him, and I'm not a suck up, as you know, but I went up to him. I said, "Hey, Coach, my name's Mike Schumann. I'm with ABC. Hey, nice to meet you." I said, "This is a weird request." I said, "Can I get a picture with you? My news director went to Syracuse. She thinks you're a god." And he looked at me and he goes, "I do too. I think you're a god too." He goes, "Sure." So we take a picture. Of course, I text it right back to Tracy, and she's like, "Oh my God." So just simple things like that, that you come across in the sport. And you and I have talked about it. You would have been great because I was pigeonholed as just the guy that knows football. So I had to learn, and I knew all the other sports. Hockey, I didn't really know, but and if you play at the pro level, as you know, you can relate to every sport, no matter what it is, because it's the same thing as a pro athlete. So, and you playing two sports, I mean, I'd love to have you as a color guy. I would just say one thing, and the game would be over, and you would stop talking. Right? So anyway, you've got the
Well,
board, and that was a great way to make a living. And I told you before, I told my dad I can do two things: catch a football and talk trash, and I've made a living at both. So I was very fortunate, and now trying to help other people out, to feel a little better in their lives. And because we get to this age, you're a little younger than I, 5 years younger, but at the end of your life, you just want to enjoy it. And unfortunately, the way it's set up, all your aches and pains show up at this time, and this, that, and the other. So, like we said, for more information, go to shu.nirvanagoldrush.com and just check it out. I'm just asking you to check it out, and I'm telling you, you try these products, you'll fall in love with them. So,
well, Shu,
delivery, and Mike, I know you're up at the main office of the store. I haven't even been invited yet. So
we're in the studio, Shu. We're in the studio.
Okay.
So when you come over to the studio, and what's great about having Shu on the Nirvana Gold Rush team, we have an authority, because I know when he walks in, he's going to say, okay, you need to put that up there, and you need to get this down here, because we want to be professional, Shu. We got a green wall. There's a green wall.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say. Actually, I found the shot that you see of me there the year before. My hair was down to here, in the picture. So this is when Bobby Bowden came in as our head coach, and all of us had to cut our hair off, So
there it is.
There it is. So, and next week I'm going to try and get by. So hopefully you'll still be around, and we can get together. And and like I say, if you want to go to a 49er game with Shu and Dot, go to shu.nirvanagoldrush.com. Sign up. First one to sign up. We'll enjoy a game with us.
Yep, definitely. And again, Shu, it's just I get so excited to hear your stories. I mean, that Muhammad Ali story. I mean, what I would have given to be able to run as a kid along with behind Muhammad Ali.
But the moment was, and as exciting as that was, when we looked at each other like, how come black and white kids can't play together?
Yeah.
And I'd see the kid every day, over the fence, and we actually even threw the ball to each other over the fence. And of course, my grandparents would come out and say, hey, don't play with him. It's like, really? And then what's happened in the last couple of days with Gerald Floyd, and it's just a sad state of affairs. So
yeah, well, you know what, what's interesting about that whole thing, and just because I know we're gonna sign off here pretty soon here, but I truly believe that most Americans, they know. I mean, I've talked to people. Some of the tragic things that happen. We live in an environment now where cameras are on all the time. And that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing, because a lot of things, as you know, Shu, there was tragedies, years and years ago, but no one ever documented them.
I think it was Will Smith said, no, racism hadn't gone away. We're just able to film it now.
Yeah, I just seen that.
The incident in Central Park with the woman, a guy asked her to put her dog on the leash. She goes crazy, calls 911. She lost her job as a vice president at Franklin Templeton for being racist. So
yeah,
it's just, but get on the cannabis, the Nirvana Gold Rush, mellow yourself out.
Right. That's true. That's true. I mean, what's amazing is I have this vape here. It's the Relax. We have all different. We have Relax. We have Sleep. We have Transcend. We have Restore for those
right.
This one, the gummies. This one's called Relax, because
it's really helping you out.
And Shu, could you show everyone your Super Bowl ring?
Oh yeah, let's see, where am I? It's kind of, see if I can get a good angle here.
I got to put it up a little. Here, let me move.
There.
You got it. There you go.
There we go.
That's a beautiful.
That's the 49ers' first one. You can't really see it, but we were 13-3 that year. So there's 13 diamonds, 2 for the playoff games, and 1 carat in the center, which was for the Super Bowl. Has the score and your name on the side. And people will see me with it, Mike, and you have one for the Raiders. You can show that too.
Yeah, we got it going right there.
You ever get, wherever you see a Raider and Niner ring anywhere.
Right.
And people say, hey, and when people see him, as you know, they go, what is that? It's either has a story behind it, or that guy's so tacky he'd wear that kind of jewelry. All right. So people will ask me, go, hey, what is that? I go, it's a Super Bowl ring. And they go, where'd you get it? I said, well, only players and coaches got them when I was in the league. Oh, were you a coach? You know, because I'm 6'1", I'm 6'2", 190. And you know, and I go, no, I was a player. They go, oh, a punter, a kicker? I said, I get so mad about it. And then I said, no, I'm just joking. I got it in a pawn shop, and my name happened to be on the side. What are the chances? And they go, oh, wow. You know, it's just like, you know, so. And,
well, you know, Shu, I get the same question when
right?
people ask, you know, same thing, you know, where did you get that? And sometimes I say, well, I got it out of the, you know, Cracker Jack box.
Yeah.
But then they say, oh, no, how'd you get that? I said, well, I played. And this was just actually, this is actually, I'd like to share this with everybody before we get off air. Probably about a year ago, I was pushing 240 pounds.
Wow. And
people would look at me and they'd say, oh, were you a lineman or linebacker? And, you know, because I'm like overweight. And so, you know, no, I said I was a running back. But you know what, Shu? It's amazing. What?
Real quick, if somebody said if you said you were a running back in the NFL, they were like, there's no way. There's no white running backs in the
That's true, too.
At the time, right? So,
there are many. Anyway. There are many. But, you know, the thing I do want to – this is another plug for cannabis. Two things that I've changed. I changed my diet. I'm removing lectins. And if you get a chance, Google lectins, Lectin. I've tried to get lectins out of my diets. The cashews have them. The seeds of tomatoes have lectins, and it affects your gut. So I've tried to remove the lectins, but the only other thing is cannabis. And I think what's happened, the combination of cannabis and lectins, you know, the cannabis is lighting up my endocannabinoid system, and my body is going to the weight that it should be. And my weight, I should be under 200 pounds. Well, shoot, I am now very close to 200 pounds, and I'm not jogging or move, but your body, if you put, you know, plant-based, you know, this is a plant.
Plant-based wellness. And what it does, it gets everything firing how it's supposed to.
Exactly.
It starts working together again.
Your metabolism.
Metabolism, exactly.
And the other thing, Shu, your immune system.
Yes. Well, there's a study in Canada right now that determined that CBD oil is helping suppress COVID-19. So what it does is, you know, it enlarges your lungs and things of that nature, and it fights it off. And like all of them, hadn't been proven, but CBD also could be helping. That alone is a reason to, you know, spark one up every night. So
yeah, and you know, that's the thing. I mean, just continue to educate yourself. That's our purpose with the Nirvana.
That's the key. Right.
That's the key. So again,
always a pleasure.
Hey, Shu, I want to thank everyone out there. The Shu and Dot Show, we come on live, and we're streaming live on Facebook. We're streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on Twitch for all those young people. And we'll soon be streaming live on LinkedIn, which is really exciting. That's coming.
Shu.NirvanaGoldRush.com. And if you want to go to a 49er game, last chance.
Last chance, because Shu and I don't mess around. You know, this is it. And we've posted it. First one to call me and say they want the tickets, you know, meaning you want to join the team, because you got to join the team to get the tickets. So,
and I'll see you next week at the office. Let's work it out.
Awesome. And I got my golf clubs because I can't wait to get out there.
Right,
we'll be rubbing Nirvana Gold Rush Sal Gallo.
About to just hose each other down before we go out.
I love you, Shu.
Hi, buddy. See ya.
Don't hang up yet.
All right.
All right.